Good afternoon, everybody. How you feeling? Just ran from Blockchain Basement, was filming there. Now we got to get this afternoon TA, break some things down. Hope you're feeling well. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. We're about to get started here in about 3 minutes. Let's get this vibes going. All right, everybody. Oh, I'm getting my vibes up, moving my body. We got 16 people in the room. Everybody, I don't even need to tell you, put those lab coats. You're all dropping them in. I'm feeling good. I hope you're feeling good. Let's look at these charts. Let's see if we got a little bounce in play or if it's going further down. I hope everybody's feeling well. Thank you, everybody that's here. I see Crimson Caravan Company. I saw you back over there in Blockchain Basement. Dimple Paw, how you doing? Red Elephant, Alexandra G, FOMO Sapien, Dimple Paw, Theo Rodriguez, Randall Dance. Wow, the basement was smoked hot today. I don't know what that means, but it was nice nice talking today. Free Kelly. What are you freeing me from? I'm here, baby. Oh, I guess maybe because you're over there while I was still over there in Blockchain Basement. Maybe you're saying, get me out of there so I can get over here. Shout out to everybody who's here. Karen Swagart Harris, how you doing? I see you. Crimson's girlfriend. Hope everybody's well. Get it. Everybody throwing some coins. You want to see some TA on today? We're doing all TA all day today. I'm not doing any stories. I'm not even going to bring up any stories. We're going to do only charts. So let's get involved. I want to see everybody seeing what they want to see. DGAF Dan, what's up? He suggested, much like a popular podcast he and I both watch, he said I should do a cap report for crypto news. I think that'd be kind of funny, actually. So yeah, don't forget you promised to talk about anchored volume profile. Is it you talking about the AVWAP? How to use it? All right, Roger, I remember that. What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Welcome back to the BitLab Academy afternoon stream. We're going to be breaking down all TA all day today. Maybe talk about a couple little things within the chart as well. Like, what the hell is an anchored VWAP? Well, it's very simple. We're going to get into that. We're going to be talking about price action. Are we setting up for any bounces? Are there any trade setups in store? Let's get into it. My name's Kellam. Welcome to the afternoon BitLab Academy daily stream where we break down education. We provide encouragement and empowerment. We have a wonderful community here, and I hope that you join us. If this is your first time here, I can guarantee you it's not going to be your last time. We have a wonderful community, and I hope every one of you hits that subscribe button and becomes a part of it. So with that being said, everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and drop an elbow on that bell. Put your notifications on so you know when we're going live. And with that being said, let's jump right into it. First things first, what the heck is an AVWAP? Well, very simple. Right here. Anchored VWAP is a variation of the VWAP. VWAP means volume weighted average price. Okay. Indicator that uses a specific time and price level as an anchor point. You're essentially anchoring the VWAP, or basically identifying at what part in the price in the price action on a chart that you are basically taking your data source from to give you the measurement from this date forward. So this date and price level forward, you're anchoring it at that point. That's essentially what it is. Similar to if you think of like a fixed range, on a VRVP visible range volume profile. That always confuses me because some people call it a VPVR, some people call it a VRVP. That's why it was tripping me up. But anchored VWAP is basically looking at, you're getting a level of the average price that is volume weighted. So much like you have a SMA or an EMA with moving averages, you have a simple moving average and an exponential moving average. Exponential moving averages give priority in the average. It basically is heavily weighted towards the most current candles, whereas a simple moving average is all the candles for that time period. So if you're saying 100, for instance, 100 SMA, 100 simple moving average. If you're looking at the daily chart, you're looking at 100 candles. So if you're on the daily chart, that's 100 days. Simple moving average. What's the average price across all those 100 days as it moves? And it looks back. It's backward looking. When you have the exponential moving average, it's looking at the last 100 days, but it's putting a bit more weight on the more current candles, which is why you see the EMAs move quicker. Similarly, when you look at a VWAP, volume weighted average price, you are looking at the average price as it over those candles, while also taking into consider which candles have very little volume and which candles have very high volume, because it's going to give, I don't want to say priority, but it gives more weight, which is why it's called weighted. If you think of the weight in terms of a percentage basis of how you're calculating the value of that in the ratio of all those averages. So, and then the anchored VWAP again is starting from a specific point and going from that price level and date and time and moving from that level. So that's what it is. Now, the reason why I think that's important, especially is one of our lovely viewers here asking, and thank you for reminding me, I would have totally forgot, is when we come into the charts, one of the parts that we have on the BitLab trading stack, we talk about it all the time, which is this VWAP right here. This is a weekly VWAP. And if you have the BitLab trading stack, if you double click on it or come over here to the gear wheel, you can come over here to inputs and you can come down here, right here, the VWAP settings. You can have the daily and the monthly, and you can select which one you want. I tend to like to have just the weekly on. It gives me, for my strategy, it gives me the best signal. But you know, this just gets a bit messy. So I just leave mine right here. I just leave it on weekly, and it's giving me the volume weighted average price over the period, considering the weekly time frame. So in this case, we're seeing price action when it is above the VWAP, tends to be pretty strong bullish price action. And this is the weekly VWAP. This will be different if you're looking at the daily VWAP. You may be under it. But when you're looking at a trend on any sort of time frame, we're looking, in this case, on the 4-hour time frame, when the price action gets above the VWAP, you tend to get this strong bullish trend until you lose the VWAP. And now we're getting a little bit of a scary nature right now. Is this the start of a downtrend retracement back down to this level? Well, that's what we were going to talk about. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, and AVAX. And then I see you all throwing in some coins. If you haven't yet, throw them in. We're going to try and get through as many coins as possible in today's show so we can see where the probabilities are lying and the directionality for some of these assets that all of us are trading at different levels. So before we dive in, let me get a sip of water, because I was just talking for an hour on Blockchain Basement, and I was already live for like an hour and a half earlier today. Oh, no chill, all content. All right. So, where are we at? Okay. So what are we looking at? Let's work ourselves backwards. Let's look a little bit at Bitcoin, and then we're going to end with Bitcoin as well, because it gives us the best signal even for other assets that are out there. So okay. So what we want to see here, we're going to do midterm and smaller time frames. We're going to do 4-hour and 1 hour, maybe some smaller time frames from that as well. But I want to just get the general picture of the midterm, because we've talked so much macro on this channel. And primarily I'm doing that because I want you all to be aware of all this chop that's happening, zooming out and realizing how much opportunity is present that's coming in the coming months, that we need to be aware to not be shaken out in these smaller time frames. But all of us, not all of us, a good percentage of us, a good majority of us are also, and I hope you're all doing it on a small allocation basis of your portfolio, not your entire portfolio, but a lot of us are trading the smaller time frames with the smaller allocation of our portfolios. We want to know where it's going. Even if we're not trading, sometimes it's like, I want to have an idea, even if I'm not trading it, I want to have an idea that I looked at the technical analysis and I looked at the data in the charts, so I don't have a heart attack when I don't look at the chart for a day and I come back and it's down 3% or 5% or it's up. Like, we want to have an idea sometimes for peace of mind. I'm going to tell you again, one of the best things you can do for peace of mind is zoom out on the chart and just relax. Now, Bitcoin, massive deviation above, smaller deviation above. Ultimately, the bulls were losing steam. The bears came here, got a pretty decent, larger than this, pretty decently large deviation below. Liquidity washout, bear trap, catches people, reverses back to the upside. And here we are trying to, it's literally like holding a rope and just shaking people off of it. That's what this market is doing right now. So is there any juice to be squeezed here when we're looking at this? Bitcoin 4-hour chart. Let's get over here to the BitGet chart. Yeah, let's come back over the Bitstamp chart. Okay. Excuse me. All right. I know I look so feminine when I'm doing that. It's because I was trying not to burp in the microphone. I just had some barbecue for lunch. So, all right. So we have the basically reversal here to the upside, push up, relief, push up, relief, push up, double push up here. And we've lost this low right here, which is where this line is denoting, which is also this previous high. Price action has broken below it, but it's holding in the level of all of this consolidation right here. This consolidation that I'm talking about right here. You see all of this consolidation. You see this white line coming across the screen. Mine is white because my candles are white. If you had a green and red candles, you would see this as this would be a green line. And it's suggesting right here that this is exactly where the price is trading. And we can see, look at this, it's sitting right on all these tops. So although we did lose this level, we are currently holding this level. In fact, we had a liquidity washout below this, but we're also getting, I almost said diminished, but we're getting decreasing volume as this moves down. So there's lack of follow through currently with the bears. It doesn't mean that it's going to continue that way. We very well could get all of a sudden a massive, somebody could fat finger a sell order and, you know, just trigger a much larger downside. But as it looks right now, this is looking like it's ripe for some sort of rally. The question is going to be, is it going to be a relief rally or is it going to be an actual rally where we break this high? But we can't know that yet. We want to see all the data signals. But what this does look like so far, we have 34 minutes to find out on this candle if we're going to have something that looks like this, which is essentially a, as it stands, a potential reversal candle. Followed, so we have this huge red candle coming into this. Now we have another attempted huge bearish candle here that the bulls ate all this back up. So that means some of these bears that were really shorting took some profits and had to rebuy, and other bulls likely came in as well, rebought. Actually, this wick makes up more than half of this candlestick. So that's one indication right there. It's one indication that there's some sort of lack of conviction from the bears. And the question then, if there's lack of conviction from the bears, does that mean that there's more conviction coming in for the bulls? These things do work very tightly together. So as we see here, this is our secondary setup in terms of just looking at candlesticks. In this case, we have a bit of, I forget what this candle's called. Somebody remind me what this handle's called. It's not a hammer candle. It's not a hanging man. Kind of looks like a shooting star, but shooting stars are at the top of trends like this. This is a shooting star right here. What is this? I forget what it's called. But it's very similar to a doji, like a spinning top reversal candle. We're seeing bullish action, bearish action, but the candle body, see how the momentum to the downside was increasing until it wasn't. It's no longer increasing. In fact, what it looks like is, it looks more like it is rounding out. Let me see, I didn't realize my screen was stretched like that because I was on the Discover Crypto show. There we go. we can see this rounding out like this. So we want to see how this candle closes. And on the next candle, do we see an attempted expansion to the upside? That's what we're looking for. As it stands right now on this 4-hour chart, we do see this momentum has angled down, which is to be expected because we see price action has moved down. We're very far, we're relatively far from this weekly VWAP, which is right up here, which is also somewhat almost in parity with where the trend signal line is. And we have the 20 moving average, all the key moving averages that we're utilizing here on the BitLab trading stack, including the weekly VWAP, the trend signal line, and the 20 moving average, is all the way up here, and the price has this huge deviation below, but we're seeing that shift in trend, that shift in narrative between the bulls and the bears being established right now. Are we going to rally back up into the zone and then continue down, or are we going to rally up into the zone, have a small pullback, and continue to the upside? That's what we're trying to decipher here. That's what we're trying to decipher. So let's get down to a little bit more brass tacks. In this case, before we do that, I want to show you here on the right on this BitLab, the trend fuel, this dashboard that we have on the right shows fairly neutral. There is some bearishness in it, but we are looking at the 4-hour candles, and they did just take a pretty big dip down. So it might take us a little second for these to reset in terms of any sort of bullish signal. So let's do what we do when we're looking at a time frame. Let's get better resolution by tuning in to a smaller time frame. What I like to do, you can come up with your own method, is I generally like to divide by 4 or somewhere in that area. So we're on 4-hour. Let's go down to the 1 hour. And we can see here, okay. So we can see here, this has a different narrative when we're looking here. When we're looking here at the dashboard on the 1 hour, it actually does look like it's going. Before it was all neutral with one bearish signal. This one is basically just straight neutral because we have two bulls, 2 neutrals, and 2 bears. So you see that? Now, it's starting to show some change of course with all the signals. Now, why is that? Well, if we come back over here to the 4-hour chart, we can see here on this 4-hour chart, the RSI, I'm going to actually save this. I didn't save this last time. Let's make this a bit bigger. Make this a bit bigger. There we go. And now what we're going to do, we are going to save this. Save template, BitLab temp, save. Yes. There we go. Now, there we go. So remember we saw on the morning stream where I was marking out when these stochastics fully reset, basically get very low. They're not overheated. They're getting down into this oversold area, meaning underbought, right? So we're getting these levels. And in fact, we're getting a lower low here on the stochastics than we got here. And in addition to this, leading up to this, we're getting this large sort of bullish divergence on the momentum trend signal here, followed up also by looking right here where we have this momentum, this money flow wave that comes bullish here where these are flashing blue. So we're starting to see some signs that there's some underlying bullishness just wanting to come in. So then again, remember, we go down to that smaller time frame, try to look for some data points that suggest what we're looking for. So look at these calls, man. On the BitLab, by the way, for me, the 1 hour and the 4 hour for trading are my favorite, especially utilizing the BitLab trading stack. It's because these bullish and bearish signals, I mean, they call these so well in terms of where price action is likely going to reverse. And in this case, my favorite setup is seeing when we have these high volume candles, these teal candles showing high buying pressure to the upside, followed almost immediately by this stopping volume and a bearish. These don't have to happen together. When they do, this is wonderful. So we have this happen together. We have the setup, the supporting signal, and then right over here we have this triangle down here on the momentum wave, which is suggesting that momentum wave is clipping and starting to roll back over. This triangle, if we put a option V, look at this. This catches it, the candle before this large drop. So you have the setup, the support, the confirmation, this triangle, and then what I would do right here is you take the low of that candle. You take the low of the candle that you have. So the setup, support, confirmation, take the low of that candle. And when the price really starts breaking down, if you want to be very conservative, you can maybe do it over here, the low of this candle. But when this starts breaking down, you set your, why is this blue? You set your short, or you take your profit if you had a long. And with that, then you can set your stop loss. In this case, what is that? Let's see. So you set your stop loss right here where this line, option T, right where this yellow line is from the stopping volume, gives you a perfect idea of where to set your stop loss. So you sort of set your entry right there, set your stop loss right there. And let's see, let's go to a short position, come right in this zone, put this right there. And in this case, we could have moved this, and we can, let's do it right here. As soon as this candle right here closes, stopping volume. So an easy strategy there is we have the stopping volume on the upside with the bearish, bearish selling sort of signal, bearish signal. And then the entry, we have our stop loss set from the line that's outlined on the chart from the high volume candle. It automatically propagates that. And then you could just set your short until the price action gets down to either this previous high right here, and we have a line there. So and also looking for if you, in this case, we're getting a purple candle, so I'd be looking for stopping volume. So I would be setting a target right at these previous highs right here, taking out a good amount, and then setting the stop loss, so especially right here where this comes down and taps. You could exit the whole position if you want, but what do? We like to layer in, layer out. And then we can set up essentially, hold on a second, my thing's all jacked up. There we go. Then we can essentially set up a trailing stop loss where once this comes down and we close a portion of our trade, then you have the rest of your trade exit. Now where we're at right here, look at this. We have this would have been all the way over here. If you were waiting for the next bullish signal, then this would have had you here. Let's see right here, option J. So if you were waiting for this, that would have been excellent. But if your stop loss was right here, you would have been stopped out when these wicks came up in here or these candles came up in here. Why is this? Because the market likes to move in ways that can wash as many people out as possible. They know there's going to be liquidity near the tops of this because they know other people are going to be setting buy and sell orders at that territory. So what do? They wash this out to the downside, to this low, and then they push it back up to clear out the liquidity at this range and then move it down. So in this case, once this came back up and broke down on this level right here, even though we don't have all this other setup, this is a little bit more advanced. Once we move this up, we see two bearish divergences right here. We couldn't get this high. So on breaking of the low of this candle, great opportunity. Not only are you breaking the low of this candle, you're breaking the trend signal line right here as well. So this would have been an excellent opportunity to either, if you were in a long on it, remember, these are smaller term time frame trades. I'm not talking about your long-term holding portfolio. This is when you're, doing 4-hour swing trades and 1-hour scalp trades and etc. Then on this second high that is lower high than this, on the breakdown from this point, you could have taken a position from that level all the way down to when you get this next level here. Now on spot trading, that would have been about a 2.8, 3% move. You can stack 3% moves. Think about it. If you're doing 3 trades a day, or even if you're doing, say, 6 trades a week even, because I don't want you all to be doing more trades than you need to. Don't trade just to trade. Trade when you see a setup. But a day traders are trading throughout the day. And so 3%, if you could do 3% on spot and you're not overly exposing yourself to more risk by taking on leverage trades and such, you do 3% trades a day. You're really compounding your interest and starting to make a lot of money. Really, you don't need to swing for 42% trades in every trade you do, because you're going to be swinging for the fences, and also you're going to be having the lack of risk management fences being swung at you, and they're going to hit you in the face. So notice that. Now, once you practice and you get into it and start leverage trading, you still need to manage your risk. I used to, I've done it, 25x, 30x trades. I used to do it quite frequently until I lost $70,000 in the matter of about 22 minutes. And I'm way more comfortable now swinging. I do a lot of spot trading, and 3 to 7% is kind of my my go-to. So even this 3%, you do that on a 3x trade, that's a 9% trade. And you took on extra risk, but on a minimal level. So, you're not going to get washed out with a $100 price movement in Bitcoin. So where are we looking at right now? Price action is breaking down, or has been breaking down. It came down to this level, bounced back up into this zone. We had the stopping volume, also created an order block below us. So currently right now, Bitcoin is trading. We got the momentum wave coming up. We have the stochastics angled up. The RSI is quite low, so it has plenty of room to run up if something comes in to push it up. But currently we're sitting right here, struggling really to break free of this 20 moving average. Excuse me. This 20 moving average and this EMA ribbon that's part of BitLab Trading Stack, BitLab Intelligence. So we have this dynamic resistance zone right here. And this is, look at this. This is finding trouble getting back above this line, which is where this bounced, which is where this is rejected. This is where this rejected, rejected. And currently we're rejecting. Is there juice? Well, we're looking here at the 1 hour time frame. Looking here at the 1 hour time frame, the momentum wave is trying to shift. This is, bullish and bearish, somewhat mixed narrative here. So let's get down a little bit deeper. 24-minute. Let's look at our signals. Okay, now we got a range based on these order blocks. So you see, as you're bringing up more resolution, you're getting more data within this within the candles that are breaking down the time frames on smaller and smaller bases. So we see here we have an order block below us. Basically, high liquidity order block below us with a lot of interest in buying at this level, a lot of interest up here at the level above us, and the price action basically bounced from here up into where this order block was. So as it stands right now, it's looking like there's a little bit, is it a trend line? Looking like there's a little bit of a trend line. This is interesting right here. Why is this interesting? Because we do have a trend line right here. Let's make this a little bit more clean. We have a bit of a regional trend line. It's almost like yeah, just in the region. Basically, this has basically been rejected at this region, rejected. This is broken through. So this will be interesting right here. If there's an intent to go up, this may find support in this region. I'm talking about the stochastics here and start bouncing to the upside because we do see the momentum angled up, but it looks like it's starting to roll over and we're seeing negative money flow here. So something's going to need to shift. So what this is telling me is that the momentum angled up, yes, but this was back here at this point right here. This is our signal right here where we got the bullish signal. We had the stopping volume. And we had the triangle right here on the momentum wave clipping back, converging back towards the zero line. And the stochastics were rather low too. So this move, if we cannot clear this level, which is the immediate previous lows, see how this bounced all in this region? But we also know, looking back, this is where it bounced here, rejected. Just a little bit of a level here. And if this, look at this on the 24-minute, we got above this trend signal line, but we're really having a hard time getting above this. Where is the, weekly VWAPs? There's a huge deviation here. Go back to the 1 hour. Ooh. So I can see, this is not giving a lot of signal because the markets, the news we got yesterday with the FOMC, the positive news mixed with just economic uncertainty right now is just baffling. Also with the nature of all these institutions, on the sidelines and starting to really apply their interest and take advantage of the FASB rules, or at least getting prepared to take advantage. Very well, and we won't know this, but there very well could be some systemic pressure on Bitcoin right now to keep prices down as long as possible, because once it starts moving, it is going to move. Let me go ahead and see that. Chat. 52 people, man, we're pumping hard today, man. We got that huge crowd today. We got all the OGs in the house. So shout out to each and every one of you. Actually, let me go right here. Let me see. I'm just pulling up the link. I forgot to, there we go. Now we're going to look at, I'm looking at basically the price action in this region. If we cannot break this level, if we break this level, I'm looking at testing up here to 26.8. If we can take this out, then I do think we're going to be retesting the 27, the weekly VWAP area. If we get this relief rally, and at this level will tell us rejection means we're not there yet. And this is likely coming back down, not only into this 26,575, but likely even testing back into this zone down here, this 26,000. Because at some point, I still believe that we'll have price action work its way down here into the, below 25,000 and likely into the upper 23s. So we got to see how this all plays out. Let me send this over to Morel. I forgot to send it to him. Forgot to send it. There we go. Now, let's go ahead and look at, what am I looking at here? Let's go ahead and look at some of the other stuff. We'll come back to TA on Bitcoin here a little bit. I want to get through a bunch of alts for you all. Did I get a list? Let me come over to the BitLab Academy Discord. If you're not in BitLab for the courses, that's okay, because we've got a huge Discord. And when you get the all access membership, you get access to the premium Discord. And we have so many channels in here. Like, I really want people to start realizing to tune in and to check into these different channels we have, from fully automated calls to trading discussion to different VIP charts and chart requests, and gym calls and VIP alts and spot trades, and and there's so much stuff in here. But I wanted to come over to the private BitLab members one. So we don't have anything in there right now, but we're going to go over some of the ones that you guys were calling for earlier today. First one being VET, because I saw Justin Eubanks asked, I believe it was Justin Eubanks, asked for that this morning. So let's look at VET. Justin, are you in the house? Let me know if you're in the house. Yeah, gonna have to get Joel out here in the afternoon. Yeah, Joel is the multi-purpose tool here at HIT, helping everybody do everything. So let's see VET. We're gonna look at, let's actually start on the 4 hour. Got a little bit of a bull flag here, probably due to some of that news that he was talking about. And so if this were to be a bull flag, that's kind of an ugly bull flag, but let's look at it in the daily. And boom, if I were a bull flag, move this up like this. And this is going to be a little bit, this is going to provide a little bit of hopium, but I don't think this is just going to break out and do this move. I could tell just by looking at this flagpole, this target would be up here, above this high, which would be phenomenal. That'd be up at the 2193 sort of zone. But this is also looking like a little bit like on the daily chart. This looks a little bit like an M formation, so it's a little bit concerning. Let's see what it looks like on the 4 hour. 4 hours looking. Yeah, this is not giving me a bull flag, bullish breakout sort of mindset. Because you see right here, I want you to notice something. Right here, you see this sort of structure here. It's kind of similar on a smaller scale. We have a bit of like a bull pennant here, where we have the ascending level of support right here. If we look at this, option T, ascending level of support right here, and then kind of a little bit of a kind of like this and breakout. But I want you to notice something. Really, that's not just the chart pattern. Look at what was going into that. Momentum was swinging to the upside into that, even up here, and was still rather high. The difference is what we saw at the top. If you look up here, the price action pushes up. We get the bearish signal, and this is working its way down. And within this working its way down, we're getting lower highs on this momentum wave, and the stochastics are really moving down rather strongly, and the RSI is getting quite low. So this is looking different structurally than this. So I'm not betting on a breakout to the upside on this just yet. It could form, because this momentum wave does look like it's kind of rolling kind of concaving here a little bit. And we're look at this. We're starting to get a lot of buy orders. How do I know that? This is the order flow. People buying or selling. This is pulled directly from Binance. We don't aggregate all of them, but it's pulled directly from Binance, so you can see what is going on in the most current order book sort of flow of this asset. And this makes sense because we had a lot of sort of expansion to the downside right here, and then we're getting these smaller reversal candles right at support. So if we're able to hold this level and push back up, then we can revisit a potential breakout. As it stands right now, we need to hold this level because if we don't, we may be coming down here to test somewhere in the 16.4 to 16.6 sort of range. And then eventually, I think we probably work our way back down into this range down here in the 15.7. That is 1.7 cents, so I'm not saying 15 cents. I'm saying I'm just reading this the easiest way, just so y'all know that. I'm not illiterate. It's just the easiest way to say it while on stream. Now let's look at ALGO. How's my ALGO doing? It's trying to push. We're still in this massive descending wedge. We made some headway here. We got a new higher high. This, in terms of this local range, this consolidatory range here, we got a new price action, made a higher high from this zone right here, and immediately got a bearish signal here with also the stopping volume. But we didn't get the rollover here right here yet. And this is holding at these highs. If this can hold here and then push higher and test up here, that's what I want to see, because I want to see how my algo people. I legit just put my headphones on, then on the phone. I just did VET for you, Justin. Was it Justin or was it? I can't remember who asked for it this morning. It was somebody. It might have been. I can't remember. But what we're looking at here with ALGO, I want this to do well because there's so many people that were so. Nobody really thought that ALGO was going to be lumped in with that SEC call, right? But that's why you need to plan for the things that you can't account for. That's why they're called black swans. But also, is SEC bringing allegations of black swan? Kind of, but not really, right? So we need to plan for all eventualities. That's why you need to manage risk and have a diversified portfolio. Elliot Locke, that's who it was. It wasn't Justin Eubanks. Shout out to Justin Eubanks anyway, but shout out to Elliot Locke for doing that super chat earlier. I hope he's on here. I hope he's able to see that because he's the one that called for it for the VET TA. So right here, what I'm seeing is price action did reverse, found support here. Price got back above what? The weekly VWAP and above the trend signal line and above this 20 moving average. And it's bounced along this 20 moving average and EMA ribbon. If we really zoom in on this, you'll know what I'm talking about. So you see right here, price action is pushing up. It's bouncing on into this EMA ribbon onto the 20 moving average up right here. And it kind of loses the 20 moving average, comes all the way down to the trend signal line, finds support and confluence with this weekly VWAP right here, pushes up until we ultimately lose it. We're kind of snaking around it here. And we get this large deviation to the upside, and we get the stopping volume, bringing us right back to the VWAP. So the question here is, for the bullish or bearish narrative, is two things. One, we've got a little bit of a very ugly head and shoulders here, which is inverted head and shoulders, I should say, which is this shoulder here, this head here, and a little bit of a shoulder here. Technically, we have broken that, meaning broken the neck. So the question is going to be, based on how everybody draws their lines on this. Now, again, I said this is an ugly head and shoulders. It really is ugly. So I'm not putting a whole lot of weight on it. But the question is going to be, is this a breakout, a retrace to flip this neckline from resistance to support for continuation up here to this level? It very well could be, but are there signs for it? We're holding above. Let's go ahead and delete this line. It's going to confuse me because the VWAP. Currently, look at this. We're holding right at the trend signal line and the VWAP. We're pushing up. If we're not able to hold this, then I think that the price action, if we're not able to hold this level, I think that we're coming down here to 9.4, which is the point of control, but it's also this low. If we lose this low, then I do think that we're very strongly likely coming back down to test these lows down here in the low 9s, high 8s. All right. AVAX. I don't know why, and I'll acknowledge it myself. Something about me, I really like AVAX. I think it has to do with the three chain sort of division that they have to keep all transactions dedicated on certain chains within their protocol. So they have like transactions all happen on one of their three chains. Then they have different interoperable, basically community necessary. What's the word I'm looking for? Transactions. And, you know, for instance, like they'll have like DeFi stuff that happens on one chain. They'll have transactions happen on another, and they'll have, I forget what the other one is. It's been so long since I really looked into it. But the point is they divide the type of traffic between three different chains. So certain things don't slow down the processing power of each node. And you can also infinitely scale AVAX by just adding a new node. And then you're adding another 4,500 transactions per second node that actually is, so it's, you can manage new traffic by just adding new nodes. It's really wonderful. And they have a little bit, some people call it a partnership with AWS. I think it's more of I don't think it's as powerful as people think it is, but they are on the right track. This is rounding, 4-hour time frame. It's rounding here. We have the stochastics are relatively low. RSI is relatively low. We're getting a bit of bullish divergence right here. Once this confirms, if this were to start rolling over here, we have a lower low on this momentum wave. We currently have a little bit of a higher low on this momentum wave, and we can see over here on the actual price action in the same time frame, this is down, this is angled up. Does that make sense? Underlying fuel coming in, price action is falling as, you know, it's like this is dipping into the gas station to launch. When will it launch though? So on the 4-hour time frame, this is not giving us a lot of signal as to when that will be. So let's head back over. Let's head down to the 1 hour. Let's see where our signals are lying. So on this, we got those bullish divergences outlined already. Great. Bullish divergence is outlined, but this is looking just on this time frame right here. This is just like skipping down, skip, skip, skip. So is there underlying bullishness here? Really? I'm still wanting to get that 7, what was it? 7 something? I don't remember. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, no, that was 4. I don't remember where the hell. 736, yeah. So, all right. So we had the information really forecasted us breaking down, breakdown, push up, breakdown. Are we going to get one more push up, one more breakdown? That would follow the Elliott wave theory. Where is my Elliott wave? I don't use Elliott wave often. So when I have to go and find it, it always messes me up. Essentially what we're looking at here is, let's do path. Where's path? Okay. Are my eyeballs working? Where the hell is path? Screw it. I give up. We're looking at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we going to get something down here into the 7s? I think it's very likely. And we can see, look at this. I just drew this, but we have this box here that I had outlined from some projections from earlier technical analysis. It's down here in the 720 up to 755 sort of level. Are we going to see that? Do you guys think we're going to see that in AVAX? Are we going to get that below $8 AVAX? That would be phenomenal. Yeah, because we're at 887 right now. Golly, I didn't even realize we were below 9. I have not been following AVAX I've not really been looking at this since I sold out. Remember, I sold like 1,000 AVAX in August 4th. And yeah, this is looking like it's starting to exhibit weakness to the downside. Are we going to get one more washout? I would be patient on AVAX right now, waiting for some signal as to what's happening here. Because this is There's a little bit of a falling wedge on this. Little bit of a falling wedge. There's a little bit of a falling wedge. So this makes sense because remember I was saying this looks like it's starting to slow down. And it makes sense because looking at it now, this is compressing into this zone. This is good news even for my call down here. Maybe this isn't going to be as valid. And this is why you do multiple types of analysis when you're trying to outline something. Because you might see something and then draw a pattern and go, well, maybe this will happen, maybe not yet. Maybe it won't happen at all because this is showing that this is consolidating into this range. Maybe we're about to get a little pop impulse to the upside. If this is going to be the case, where do we look? Well, let's look right here. First step. Why is this way over there? Put this here and let's draw a box for these lows right here and the high. There you go. The high right here, bounce, 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 rejection. So on any impulse to the upside, this is the territory that I'm looking at here, 970. This is what I'm looking at. If we can push through this, then we're going to be really, on our way up to be testing this high. If we get rejected here, then we'll likely be entering, I would think, less of a just rejection here and down. I would think because of where we're at in the market, barring any sort of very bad news coming in that really sets the market in a negative narrative space, I think that if we do push up from this like this and get rejected, that we'll likely kind of chop in the zone like this and then work our way to move out in some fashion like that. That's what I'm seeing on AVAX. Atom. What are we seeing on Atom? Atom, breakdown, big deviation to the downside or washout, a little bit of a W pattern right here. And we got a higher low within that as well. And in addition to all that, price action broke above the weekly VWAP and all of the trend signal lines here, comes down, tests the weekly VWAP. See this? Tests the weekly VWAP and the trend signal line, pushes up. Look, weekly VWAP pushes up, loses it, and we have a lower high. We have a lower high right here. So we're losing the weekly VWAP, showing a change of pace. We have a lower high. This is telling me that this is likely going to test. Where is it going to test? Likely right to here, $6.90, which is about 30 cents down from where it is right now. That's 30 cents. What's 30 cents? Well, 30 cents is a pretty decent move on a small asset. That's a 5% move on that. And that's if we only get one leg. Or is it going to be more likely that, look at this. This rolled right over the head and shoulders as well. You see that? You guys see that? Head and shoulders? Shoulder, head, shoulder. So on this right here, so option T, come across like this. We're right on the cusp of breaking this. Once we lose this, I think we will be coming down a little bit of a chop, but coming down to test this 690. Let's see what the measurement is. Option T, measurement to the zone. We're going it right from the middle all the way down to this neckline. And then we can move this down and let's see where target is. Holy moly. Could you believe that the target based on the previous price action is exactly where the previous low is? Target down, previous price action. This is the mark area we marked. I did these independently live with you all right now to show you how you develop your idea of where price action can go. So if this is a price target, then this is where you can, you don't necessarily need to, if we're on the cusp of reversing to the upside, you don't need to take a short every time you have an opportunity for it to go down. You can also look at this and say, ooh, this might be going down. Start setting some targets down here in this region, 699 down to 691 in this sort of zone. Because this also, look at this. This level comes all the way across this area, this deviation, but there's interaction here. This gets rejected right at, this bounces right at, this bounces right at. This is where the target is. Strong case to be made right there on Atom. All right, XRP. We did not look at XRP this morning like I planned on. XRP, 4 hour, pushing up, rolling over, finding support right here about the trend signal line and just below the weekly VWAP, but shoots up, comes down below it, closes a couple candles below it. See, there's a difference between this and this. It's coming up and showing weakness. This is telling me it's likely coming down to retest this 50-cent range, potentially coming down to this 49 sort of cent range. And there's a little bit of a broadening wedge here. a little bit of a broadening wedge here. So if we do bounce here, we very well could push up really strong. And remember, XRP is one of those coins right now with all the different integrations happening in the building into the infrastructure of legacy finance. Different companies, really trying to figure out how to integrate XRP. They've been working on this for years. They're back in the spotlight with winning the case against the SEC, even though it may be appealed, but they're in the spotlight and they have all the connections and they're getting all these licenses. So even if you could have a little bit of a bearish feel from TA, I'd be a little hesitant to trade to the downside on XRP in terms of shorting. I'd be looking for opportunities. If we do break down, I'd be, buying at this 50-cent level. If we lose that, I'd be buying again down here at the 49-cent level. And then I'd, be buying a lot more down here at the 47.8 sort of level. So that's what I'm seeing. But I love you all. I appreciate you. Make sure if you want to learn about how to read price action, head over to bitlabacademy.com. Hit that enroll button. You can also click here on the courses, view all. You can see we've got a lot of stuff in here. With the all access pass, you can go through all of these as many times as you want. There's little courses. There's courses, there's quizzes after each video, as well as a larger quizzes for the end of each course. I'm currently working on filming a bunch more stuff to add new content, new trading strategies, range trading, breakout trading, Fibonacci's and extensions, targets. There's a lot more stuff where you can learn how to read candles, candle patterns, understand how to read the narrative in the charts. So check all these things out. Head over to clicking on enroll. You can click right here, sign up for BitLab Pro today. You get all of our indicators and you get all access and you get the premium Discord for about 30% off with everything bundled together. You can use an additional 30% off that first month using Give Me 30. But I got to go, guys. I have to film another pre-record for our Saturday Alpha series here in just a few minutes. I love you all. I appreciate y'all. Hope you all have an absolutely splendid and wonderful day. Head over to the Investing Bros. They are on at 4 p.m. Now. So I love you all. With that, I bid you adieu. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. I truly appreciate every one of you. Thank you for being here. Hit that like button on the way out. Make sure, check if you are subscribed. Hit that subscribe button and check out bitlabacademy.com if you want to take this deeper. And if you want to get into our Discord, we'd love to have you there. Adios, everybody.